You are free to keep your video on or off, whatever feels good. And we're going to start just sitting in a comfortable, easy pose, crisscross applesauce. You can sit on a blanket or a block. Just going to be close to the computer so you can hear me. Making sure you're sitting evenly between your two sit bones. You might want to rock from side to side, forward and back, until you feel yourself nice and even. And close your eyes and bring your attention to how your breath is moving through your body right now. Without changing a thing, without doing a thing, just noticing how the breath is feeding your skin, on your arms and on your legs. How your lungs are responding by increasing in size on the inhale, soaking up that intake of fresh breath. And as you exhale, your lungs squeeze everything it doesn't need out. Bringing your attention down to your belly. And again, noticing how the belly widens and expands side to side, front to back on the inhale, and gently contracts on the exhale. And we'll begin this class with the breath of calmness. I'll talk us through it, where you inhale through the nose and then exhale through the mouth. It's just a 3-part breath, very simple. So after your next exhale, take a slow, soft inhale through the nose and visualize the breath traveling all the way from your tailbone, all the way up to the crown of the head. And then opening your mouth and exhale everything out completely through the mouth. When you're ready, again, inhale through the nose, draw the breath in and up through your body, all the way above the crown. This time, retain the breath above the crown. Visualize the breath swirling above your crown for as long as you can with comfort, and then opening your mouth and exhale everything out completely. At the end of that exhale, when you're ready, last time, inhale through the nose, draw the breath in and up above the crown. Retain the breath at the tippity top. Visualize the breath swirling. And then whenever you're ready, opening the mouth as if you're blowing through a straw, and exhale everything out completely. And then retain the breath at the end of the exhale. And then when you're ready, breathing normally in and out through your nose, just let it be, no control. Breath of calmness quiets the chatter in your mind and prepares your body for some poses to come. Gently opening the eyes, straighten out your legs, bounce your knees up and down in front of you. Just bounce the knees up and down. And then let's change the cross. So sitting the awkward way. And still sitting up nice and tall, shoulders are down, and let your chin come down to your heart. Feel the back of your neck opening up. Breathe here. So still sitting up nice and tall. Imagine sunlight warming the back of your neck, pouring over your shoulders. And as you breathe, you feel the skin stretching a little more back there. And then inhale, lift the head up. And as you exhale, let the head come back. Chin tips up, stay here. And feel that gentle stretch and opening in the front of your throat. Open your mouth nice and wide. Make a big O. You can show your teeth. Stretch out your cheeks. And then close the mouth and see if you can close your lips. And then let the chin come back so it's parallel to the ground. Beautiful. Let the right ear release over to the right shoulder. Stay here and bring your right hand on top of the head. Fingers just graze that left ear, the top of that ear. Left hand comes down to the ground and walk those left fingertips out to the left so much that they're just barely touching the ground. Stretch your fingertips away so they're at a diagonal and feel that nice stretch under your arm, on the side of your neck. And then let your right hand slide to the back of your head so your head is in the palm of your hand, and press your head back and that right elbow back and feel that stretch across your chest. And then bring your left hand back to your lap and your right palms face up, and then let your chin come all the way down towards your heart, and then let that left ear sweep over the left shoulder and stay here, sitting up nice and tall. And feel the right side of the neck opening up, right shoulder is soft. Place your left hand on top of your head. Your fingers just graze the top of that right ear, maybe not, mine don't quite touch. And then bring your right hand down on the ground and walk the right fingertips all the way out and to the right so much that they're just gently lifting off the ground, still sitting up nice and tall. Beautiful, so good. Stretching out through the fingers. Feel that gentle stretch along your arm, maybe at that elbow crease, the right side of your neck. And then let the hand slide to the back of your head and press your head back into the palm of your hand. Left elbow comes back. And then bring your right hand back to your lap and your left. And now let your head release down, chin comes down, and then offer a full rotation all the way to the right. Gentle, full 360. Take your time, feeling every nook and cranny of this head roll. Really taking your time here. And then whenever you're ready, in your own time, reversing the head roll. And then lift the head all the way back up. Chin is parallel to the ground. Let's bring our hands to prayer, and we'll start, before we really start moving, let's chant 3 ohms. So your thumbs are gently pressing against the sternum or the heart area. Inhale. Om. Let your chin release down to your heart, setting an intention for the remainder of the class. to move slowly, feeling that space open up throughout your body and your mind, allowing for easy movement of emotions, physical movement, and fluidity. Gently opening your eyes, and then let's roll right onto our hands and knees into tabletop. You can bring your blocks with you if you have blocks. Everybody will be in their own. Everybody's going to be moving in accordance with what feels best for them. So fingers spread nice and wide right underneath your shoulders, shoulders on top of wrists, hips on top of knees. Push the ground away, chin to chest, belly up to the sky. And then let your belly release, tailbone tips up, gentle gaze across the room. And continuing to flow in your cat-cow. Inhale as the belly releases. Let that belly be nice and soft as you inhale. And as you exhale, draw your belly button up to the sky. Flowing back and forth. Beautiful. And then take a neutral spine here. So draw the belly up, crown of the head forward, tailbone back. And then let's raise that right arm up to the sky. Rotate your wrist a few different times. Open and close your hand. And then let's thread the needle. So right arm comes underneath the left, right shoulder on the ground, right ear maybe on the ground. It's okay if your ear is off or that right shoulder is off. You can draw your left hand in right underneath that left shoulder and gently feel the twist of your belly, that right side opening. Breathe here. Press your left hand down, reach your right arm all the way up to the sky again. And right hand comes down. And then reach that left arm all the way up to the ceiling. Open and close your hand. Rotate your wrists both directions. And then thread the needle. Left arm comes underneath, left shoulder on the ground, left ear on the ground. Walk your right hand right underneath your shoulder, and you can gently press the ground, roll that right shoulder back, only pushing as much as feels good or just relaxing in this pose. And then press that right hand down, unwind, left arm comes all the way up to the sky, and left hand comes back down to the ground. Let's shift the knees back, tuck your toes, and let's come into our first downward facing dog. Spread your fingers nice and wide, hips come up to the sky, press your heart towards the back of the mat, and begin to walk your dog back and forth, one leg and the other, straightening and bending. Take your time here. And straightening your legs. Everybody come way up high on the toes. Feel the heels stacked on top of the toes. Stay high on the toes. Bend your knees deeply. They're just a few inches off the ground. Now keep your knees close to the ground, but off the ground. Push your hips back. Feel your armpits stretching towards your thighs. And then lift those hips up again. Straighten your legs. You're back in dog. We're going to do that 2 more times, a little quicker with the breath. Inhale up on the toes. Exhale, bend the knees deeply. Inhale, push your hips back. Exhale, straighten the legs. Last time, inhale up on the toes. Exhale, bend the knees deeply. Inhale, push your hips back. And exhale, straighten the legs. Let's lift that right leg all the way up to the sky. Rotate your ankle. Look at the top of the mat and step that right foot in between your hands. Give your hips a wiggle back and forth, swishing back and forth. Let your left knee come down to the ground. Walk your left hand out to the left and reach that right arm up for a gentle twist. Reach your right arm up, roll that right shoulder back. And then the right hand comes down outside that right foot. Tuck your back toes.
Lift that back knee. Heel toe your front foot over to the right a little bit. And now bring that right hand inside that right foot. So you're in a low lunge and your right hand is inside that right foot. Now we're going to work on the hips a little bit. Walk your hands to the left, but keep your feet and your legs exactly as they are. So keep bending that right knee. You can push your butt back. Feel that big stretch on the right side body and turn your left hip down. So the more you walk your hands towards the back of the mat, the more you feel it. A little goes a long way, so don't overdo it. And then walk your hands forward and over to the other side. So right arm and belly comes up and over that leg, and then you're crossing over to the right. Keep that right knee bent, left leg straight, feet are face forward. Really nice. Bring your left hand back around that foot. You're facing forward. And now from here, let's lift the hips up, straightening that right leg, folding over your right leg, and then rebend that right knee. So some people might want blocks here, right underneath your shoulders. You can have the blocks tall. So you're bending, straightening, folding over. Or you might not need the blocks. It depends on how you feel, what you did this morning, if you're warm. Did you have a good sleep? Did you go for a walk? Did you do a Zumba class? It all depends. Going back and forth. And then stay in your low lunge. Keep that left knee off the ground, left hand on the ground. Reach that right arm up again for another twist. Reach that right arm up. Roll that right shoulder back. Lay back. Feel your belly turning up towards the sky. Beautiful. Bring your right hand all the way down and step it back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Come to a plank, shoulders over wrists. Lift your belly up, tailbone back, scoop your pelvis forward. Arms are strong and long. Hold it here. Let's come to a side plank. Left arm comes up, reach those hips up, left arm up, reach those hips all the way up. Feel the right side lifting up towards the sky. Turn your left hand towards the front of the mat and reach that left arm over the ear. Palm facing down. Lift those hips up. Look down at the ground, come back to your plank. Other side. Right arm comes up, reach that right arm up, hips up. Turn the right palm towards the front and lift that right arm over the ear, palm face down, lift those hips up. You can always lift that right leg up if you want more. And then come back to your plank. Lower your knees, untuck your toes, all the way down to your belly. Bring your arms down by your sides, palm face up, head is on the ground. And then lift up for locust. Legs come up, arms and chest come up. Shoulders are away from the ears. Turn your pinkies up a little bit, thumbs down. Breathe here. Strong legs, strong arms. And feel how your body is riding the wave of your breath. And come all the way down. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Press back onto hands and knees. Let's come into puppy right here before we come into the other side. So your hips are over your knees and your knees are hips distance. And now walk your hands all the way out. You can even press your fingertips down and imagine there's tennis balls underneath your hands just to get a little more stretch. Bring your head down to the ground. So your forehead is on the ground. Reach your hips back and feel that beautiful stretch under your armpits, your chest. Breathe here. And gently lift your head up, walk your hands back in. Bring your knees and your feet together, tuck your toes, and now we're going to sit on our feet, opening up the backs of our feet. So this is quite something if you haven't done this before, but this is great for if you have plantar fasciitis, As we get older, people tend to get a lot of foot and toe pain. And I used to be one of those people, and this is the only thing that really helps after going to a few podiatrists. So like this, if you can sit like this for 3 minutes, who can do that? But it's good to work up towards that. So feeling this stretch of your toes and your feet. If you need to put your hands down, you can. If you can bring your arms all the way up, hold elbows, framing your face, look straight ahead, and then crescenting over to the right. Feel that left side opening up. Inhale up and over to the left. Beautiful. Come all the way back up. And then open your arms all the way up and out. Roll the shoulders back a few times. And now bring your hands down and tap out your toes. Tap it on the left. Walk your hands a little bit further. Tuck the toes again. Downward facing dog. Okay, lift that left leg all the way up to the sky. Point your toe, lift that leg as high as you can. Look at the top of the mat and step that left foot in between your hands. Give your hips a swish back and forth. Lower that right knee to the ground. Left arm comes up. Gentle twist. Reach that left arm up. Roll that left shoulder back. Lay your belly back. And now bring your left hand down outside that left foot. Lift that back knee. Bring your left hand inside the left foot. And you can heel toe the left foot over towards the left. Keep your feet and your legs stationary and walk your hands towards the right, towards that back foot. Keep that left knee bending, and you can even walk the hands out in front of you a little bit. Push your butt back. Turn your right hip down to feel that big stretch on the left side body and that hip. Some people like to widen their hands. Some people like to do a heart push-up here. Depends. Walk your hands forward and then up and over your leg to the other side. Now feel that right side body opening. Nice. And then bring your hands back outside this left foot. And again, you can bring blocks under your hands here if you like. And then begin to straighten and fold over that left leg and bend. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. Straighten. Then one more time. Straighten. Bend. Right hand comes down. Left arm comes up. Full twist. Reach that left arm up. Roll the left shoulder back. And left hand comes down to the ground. Step that back foot forward. Feet are hips distance apart, hands on shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, unfold, reverse. Come all the way up with a flat back. Arms come up, hook your thumbs together. Heel toe your feet together. Press your feet down, reach your fingers up. Let's crescent over to the right. Roll that left shoulder back. Inhale, come up. And exhale over to the left. Inhale, come all the way up. Bring your hands to prayer and let your prayer come down to your heart. Shoulders are soft. Feel yourself grounding down into the earth. Let's slide that right leg back, toes are down. You can let your arms come out to sides and then roll over those right toes, opening up the joints in your toes and your ankle and your knee. So imagine that right leg is a piece of cooked spaghetti, nice and loose. Change the direction. You can bring your hands on your hips if that feels better. You want to flick over those toes. It takes a little bit of practice, but it's, again, really nice for your foot. Step that right foot back. And then left foot, that left foot has to step way back, toenails are on the ground. Feel that stretch on top of your foot, and then rotate over the toes, feeling it in your ankle, your toes, your knee, and that left hip. Pulling over all the toes, whoop, and change your direction. I always like to do this before tree, because our feet are nice and stretched and warmed out. So spread all 10 toes, looking straight ahead, finding a spot to focus on, straight ahead. And let's come into tree, lifting our right foot first. So you decide, you can keep that foot low to the ground or pick it up with your right hand, bring it high up that left leg, pressing thigh, inner thigh into foot, foot into thigh, hands at prayer, shoulders are soft, eyes are soft. And again, bring your attention to your breath here. Can you sense the length of the exhales versus the inhales? And noticing, is it the same length? Or are you inhaling more? It's not bad, or just noticing how your breath has shifted. And reach your arms all the way up to the sky. Three more breaths here. And bring your hands back to prayer, down to your heart. Beautiful. And then step that right foot back. Turn it out 45 degrees. Heel toe the left foot over towards the left. Bring your hands on your hips. And we're going to come into Parjvo Tanasana. Hands are on your hips, thumbs are behind you. Roll the right shoulder back and the left shoulder back. Lift your heart up. Gently squeeze the elbows together as you look up at the ceiling. Inhale here, and then exhale with a flat back, hinging at your hips, tailbone back, crown of the head forward, coming into a forward fold. Feeling that extreme stretch behind the left leg. When you feel your back beginning to round, you can bring your hands down, either onto your blocks around that front foot, any height that feels good to you, or flat or tall or no blocks. Let the head go. So you're drawing that left hip back, right hip forward. Inhale, lengthen the crown of your head forward. Keep drawing that left hip back. And exhale and fold. One more time. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. And exhale and fold. Close your eyes here if you can, and just breathe and feel. And gently lifting your head up, bend that left knee, walk your hands in front, and now lift that right leg up. Lift that right leg up, but turn the right hip down. So you're lifting that right hip up, but turning that right hip down, and roll the inside of that right leg up towards the ceiling. Flex your foot. Flex your foot. And then let's lift that left arm up, twisting towards the left. This is revolved half moon. Big move here. Reach that left arm up, twist your belly to the left. Keep rolling the inside of that right leg up to the sky. Beautiful, bring your left hand down. Bend that standing leg and stretch that right leg to the back of the mat. Turn that right foot to the side. Let's come up into warrior two. Beautiful, bend that left knee, gently look over the left hand. Breathe here. So you can check your feet, heel to heel alignment. Breathing here, tucking that left hip under. Flip the left palm and reverse. Let that right hand slide down your leg. Left arm reaches up, maybe by the ear. Back to warrior two. And then let's straighten that leg and straighten your arms up overhead. And warrior two. Again, straighten the legs, straighten your arms. Warrior two. Last time. Warrior two. One more move. I don't know, I'm just feeling it. Left elbow to that left knee. So your left elbow to the left knee. Imagine you're holding a pizza pie here. Tuck that left hip down. Let the right arm come down. And then over towards the front of the room. And then over that ear, roll that right arm back. Feel your belly turning up towards the sky. Both feet are flat on the ground. Make sure that right pinky toe is flat on the ground. If you're feeling very open, you can bring your left hand down outside that left foot. Keep that right arm over. You might want to keep that right arm straight up, or it might even feel better on your hip. So you can decide what feels better for that shoulder or neck. And then look down at the ground, bring your right hand down, turn your back foot forward, step that left leg back, downward facing dog. Plank. Come all the way down to your belly. Untuck your toes, reach your arms back, forehead on the ground. Locust. Breathe here. Legs up, arms up. Tuck your chin in a little bit. Feel the back of that neck nice and long. And lower all the way down. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Push back to hands and knees. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Walk the hands back towards your feet. Knees are bent a little bit. Coming to your forward fold here. So your knees can be bent. And then open your feet a little wider than hips distance. And begin to bend the right knee and straighten the left. And then shift your weight, bend the left knee and straighten the right. So you're shifting your weight, going back and forth. Bend that right knee, straighten the left. Bend the left knee, straighten the right. Next time you bend that right knee and straighten the left, press your right fingertips down into the ground or onto a block and reach that left arm all the way up to the sky. So tailbone back, hand the head forward. Turn your belly up to the sky. And then look down at the ground. Left hand comes in front of left foot. Bend that left knee, straighten the right, and then your right arm comes all the way up. Reach that right arm up, roll that right shoulder back. Beautiful. Bring your right hand all the way down. You can let your head go. You can straighten your legs if that feels good. Otherwise, keep the knees bent. We don't want any pain in the lower back. That means you need to bend the knees because this is supposed to be a thigh stretch. Some people, if it feels okay, you can step, slide your hands underneath your feet, palms of the hands face up. This is gorilla. Elbows bend. And then release that. Bend your knees. Arms out to the sides, and with a flat back, come all the way up. Arms come up, and hands come back to prayer. Eyes are soft at your prayer. Rest against your heart. Shoulders are soft. Feel your body.
Feel the difference in your mind at the start of class versus now. Let's come up on the toes, balance on the toes, and walk on your toes to the top of the mat. And then lower those heels down. Spread your toes nice and wide. And from here, let's come into tree on the other side, which is your left foot comes up. And one side might be very different, usually is from the other. You can use a piece of furniture or balance against the wall. Pressing foot into thigh, thigh into foot. When you're ready, reach your arms all the way up, and you might say, you know what? Today I'm going to keep my hands in prayer, resting against my heart. That's beautiful too, just wherever you feel it. If your arms are straight up, lift the thumb tips up to the sky. Feel how that changes the stretch more to the back body. Fingers are spread nice and wide. 3 more breaths here. Bring your hands back to prayer, down to your heart, and then gently step that left foot back, turn it out 45 degrees. Heel toe your right foot towards the right. Bring your hands on your hips, setting up for Parjvo Tanasana on this side. Roll the shoulders back, thumbs behind you, lift your heart up, let the scapulas lift your heart up, back bend, look up at the sky, elbows squeeze together, inhale, and then exhale. With a flat back, drawing that left hip forward, right hip back and in. And eventually your hands will come down around that front foot or onto blocks. Inhale and lengthen. So the nose stays pointing down, crown of your head reaching forward. And exhale, let the elbows bend, head goes towards your knee. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Breathe here. Big stretch behind that right leg. And then begin to look straight ahead, bend that right knee, walk your hands out in front, wider than shoulders distance, and then lift that left leg up. Flex your foot, spread the toes, lift the left leg up, turn the left hip down, feel the inside of the left leg rolling up to the sky. Your standing leg can have a little bend in it. Crown of the head reaching forward, and now reach that right arm up to the sky, look up at the sky. Feel that right shoulder rolling back, feel your belly turning back. Beautiful, where's your breath? Just noticing. Bring your right hand down, bend that standing leg, take a giant step to the back of the room with that left, turn the left foot to the side, come up into warrior 2. So line up heel to heel, make any adjustment that you need. Any adjustment that you need. Shoulders are relaxing down away from your ears, stretch out through your beautiful fingers. Keeping the gaze soft and focused, peaceful warrior. Tuck that right hip under. Breathe here. Flip that right palm, reverse. Let the left hand slide down your leg, reach that right arm up, bend that right knee, tuck the right hip under. Back to warrior 2. And straighten your legs, straighten your arms. Back to warrior 2, bend that right knee, straighten your leg, hands clap together on top, warrior 2.
And one more time. Warrior two. Now right elbow on that right knee, left hand on hip. Right palm facing the ceiling. Roll that left shoulder down. Keep that right hip tucked under. Let your left arm be straight. Bring it all the way down and then in front, towards the front of the mat. And then roll that left shoulder back. Keep the shoulder away from your ear. Left palm is facing down. You could stay here. Keep that left pinky toe on the ground, or maybe bring that right hand down outside your foot, maybe. And if it's too much, don't do it. Just takes practice. And then look down at the ground, bring your left hand down, turn your back foot forward, step that front foot back, downward facing dog. Let your knees come down to the ground. We're in tabletop. Cross your ankles behind you. Walk your hands back in towards your knees, and we're going to come to a seat. Beautiful. Scoot up towards the top of the mat. Uncross your feet. Let's come into boat. Hands behind the knees. Shoulders are down. Lift the heart up. Lift that heart up. Shoulders are down. Lift your heels up. Then one foot and the other foot. And one arm and the other arm. Breathe here. You can straighten your legs. Beautiful. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come into butterfly. Interlace your hands around your feet, sitting up nice and tall, and let your knees gently flutter up and down. Sitting nice and tall. And then let your knees release. From here, I'm going to turn to face you. We're going to offer the lion's breath in blossoming lotus, which is kind of funny, but very meditative and calming for your central nervous system. So you lean back behind the tailbone and then lift your feet up and just kind of balance here. And then once you find your balance, bring one arm underneath, palm is up, and then the other arm underneath, so stay here balanced. Your chin is parallel to the ground, shoulders are down, heart lifts up. Keep the chin parallel to the ground. So you inhale through the nose, and then on the exhale, you say ah, and it's a long ah, and you stick your tongue way out, so it looks a wackadoo. But it's very relaxing, and we'll do it twice, but resting once in between. So the second time you'll get it. So take a deep inhale, and on the exhale, you say ah, and your tongue comes way out, and you roll the eyes up to the sky. Here we go. Close your mouth, swallow, and let your feet come all the way down and walk your feet out a little bit more. So it's a big diamond. And then turn your right palm down and then your left palm down. Let the elbows bend and let your head gently relax. No forcing, no pushing. Close your eyes. And then slowly come up. Turn your knees up and down. Let your bend your knees and straighten up and down. Bring your hands behind you, roll the shoulders back, point your toes, and lift the hips up for incline plane. Just reverse counter stretch here, looking down at your feet, lift those hips up, and then let the hips come all the way down. Press your thighs down. Press your thighs down, reach your arms up, press those thighs down, toes are up, press those heels away, no forward fold, just stay here for a moment. Your heels are lifted off the ground. And then bring the hands all the way down.
And then come back to your butterfly. I'm just going to adjust the screen a little bit. Okay. So one more time. Let your knees just be stationary. Tip back, lift your feet up. Find your balance. And then one arm comes under and the other arm comes over. Find your balance here. And then inhale through the nose, exhale with a loud ah, and trying to touch the tip of your tongue to your chin. Here we go. Close your mouth, swallow. Gently bring your feet down. Let your feet slide forward. And then turn that right palm down, the left palm down. This is Tortoise. And let the head come down. Your head might come down to the ground depending on your flexibility. Some people like to rest their head on a block and it sends calming messages. Very softly breathing here. And then slowly extricate your arms, walk your hands back in. And then you can come down to your back, hug your knees into your back, and let your knees roll out in. I like to separate my knees, bring them back together, just making some hip stirs in one direction, and then change the direction. And then give the knees a hug with the right arm. Left arm out to the side and let your knees release over to the right. Feel that left shoulder grounding down. It might be hovering on the ground, that's okay. Might be on the ground, both hands are relaxed. Let your head roll from side to side. And then let it rest in that neutral position. Tuck your chin just a little bit. Breathe and feel your belly move with your breath very gently, softly. And then lift your left knee up and your right knee up, coming back to your back. Hug your knees with the left arm. Right arm comes out to the side, rolling to the left side. Feel that right shoulder softening down to the ground. That right elbow is soft, fingers are soft. And let your head gently move from side to side. And then let it rest in that neutral place. Breathe here. And then lift that right knee up and left knee up. And now hug your knees
And bring your head to your knees and squeeze tight everything. Squeeze your toes, furrow your brows, squeeze tight, 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 compact. And then release everything out into Shavasana. Let the feet release out to the sides, palms face up, roll those shoulders under. Breathe here, let it go. Feel yourself light and lifted with your inhalation. And as you exhale, feel safe and comforted and heavy down into the earth. Flowing back and forth between lifting and lightness with the inhale and heavy and comforted and safe with the exhale. Beginning to deepen your breath, wiggling your fingers and your toes, rotating your ankles and your wrists. Stretch your arms overhead for one last full body stretch. Bending your knees, rolling onto any comfortable side, let your head rest on your arm. Take 3 breaths. And pushing yourself up to a comfortable seat. You can sit on a block or on the ground if that feels best for you. Close your eyes. Bring your hands back to prayer, right at the heart. Let the shoulders soften. Elbows are soft, face is soft. We'll Om one time together, followed by 3 Shantis. Inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Raise your prayer to the Ajna chakra, the place between your eyebrows and slightly above, pressing there, and bowing down to your very own heart in deepest gratitude for the gift of yoga and the joy and peace it brings to your entire body,
mind and soul every time you practice. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. That was lovely.
Thank you. I think we're going to be
Great.
switching. Jesse's, we'll do it on next Saturday, and then I do it. We do every other Saturday.